episode of the Haunted Road Trips show is brought to you by evidential medium Tracy St. Croi. Most of us grow up hearing statements, beliefs, and judgments so frequently that as adults, our lives are subconsciously managed by them. Are you aware how this spaghetti highway expands into every issue of life, from relationships to money, fears, and beyond? Visit www.tracystcroimedium.com and sign up for a remapping session that gets you off the spaghetti highway so you can change your mind and change your life. Welcome to the Haunted Road Trip Show, where we bring you powerful conversations, insights, and exciting site investigations that reveal the paranormal world in a way you've never seen before, up until now. Tune in and become part of a community that enjoys the thrill of finding out what the paranormal world wants to teach you and solve the issues. Be sure to visit our website at www.hauntedroadtripsshow.com. And while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, prepare to have your thirst for curiosity satisfied as you enjoy ghost stories, haunted house stories, and more.
What I really wanted to talk with you guys today and bring this to you is all of my clients that I've been having, all of my, the CEOs that I work with. The main thing that has been coming up, obviously, for the past month is journeying into the unknown. And honestly, what does that look and feel like for us? Because we've heard a lot of this before, like none of us probably watching this broadcast, unless our great-great-grandparents, depending on their age, are still alive, none of us have ever experienced anything like this. And so we are all just journeying into the unknown. And even though, even me included myself, you think I didn't have freak out moments? Oh, yes, I did. I freaked out nice and good. But I moved past that, because what I've learned is, especially with change, with fear, with unknown, is one, it's okay for me to experience the emotions that I'm having, to let out the anger, let out the fear, let out the confusion, let out the, the utter and complete, like, what the hell is this? Move that out of my body. And then, as a good friend of mine says, get a grip. And really feel like, okay, well, what is here? Well, what do we have to work with? And even though it's unknown, the way that I'm looking at the perspective is like children do, getting curious about it and not trying to get so caught up in the details that I lose out on the prosperity, on the good change that could come from, something catastrophic like this happening. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, but a lot of us study law of attraction and the law of the universe. And, what we focus in on is what we attract more of. In the chat box, if you can agree with that, can you type big yes, 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 or can I get a hell yeah? I'm sure somebody's going to eventually, but I am positive that you guys all really confer with this. So if you're having any kind of challenges right now, which I think that we all are, I invite you to, there you go, Debbie. Hell yes. I love it. I invite you to get curious. So one way that I was taught to get curious, I love to take improv classes. And during improv classes, we are taught a game called Yes and. And it just goes on and on. There's no doubts, there's no worries. So I say, like, yes, I can create a whole new format where people can connect, still get connect with their favorite practitioner, still interact with me, and still learn something new. Yes, and It's going to bring a lot of people peace and understanding and prosperity. Yes, and maybe we'll make some lifetime connections there. Maybe some people will be able to meet some of their soulmates there. Yes, and we'll be able to do it again. So I play that tape with myself. Instead of in the past, I might have get caught up in, well, how's that going to happen? I don't know how to do that. That's impossible. I wouldn't be able to do that. That kind of, what I like to call, stinking thinking. And just play with it. And all of a sudden, all these new ideas and new perspectives about how I could actually take my in-person business and move it to more online to be able to help even more people. It just was like, okay, we can do this. I'm, wondering about how it's all going to work. But if it's inspired by spirit, I know that all I need to do is just trust that divine flow. And one step will be revealed, and then the next step will be revealed, and then the next step will be revealed. So I say, even though we don't like this kind of change, I don't like the devastation. I don't like the death. I don't like, families being absolutely decimated by this virus. I have to look at it like, okay, if that's what's happening, how can I work with it instead of getting caught up in that chaos of it? How can I help others? How can I still be present for those who need it during this time? So I like to say, get curious onto that. So who thinks it would be fun to play that yes and game when you get off the phone with somebody? I'm sure somebody does. Type in another hell yeah. All right. Hi, Jerry. Thanks for tuning in. We had some technical difficulties. Of course, Facebook. Oh, reliable Facebook. You can always count on them. But yeah, just get curious for the change. And something else that's been coming up with me and my clients a lot of you know that I have an Amazon bestseller book called 7 Tips and Tricks, How to Enhance Your Intuition. And a lot of my business clients have been purchasing it like crazy because they're like, okay, this is how I can learn how to maybe up my game and really tune into what are my abilities. How can I best tap into those to be able to thrive during this time? So I say right now is a great time to nurture those intuitive abilities that we all have within ourselves. I talk about that in my book a lot, about how our intuition is like a hidden app to me, where we get glimpses and little subtle hints that it's there, but we're not sure on how to mess with the settings. We're not sure on how to make it work for us. And in my book, I give you step-by-step on how to kind of find your app, locate it, and adjust the settings for yourself. And one of the things that I talk about is, discovering what your intuitive strengths are and what your dominant strength is currently. So I invite you, some of you guys already know, a lot of you guys are very, aware of what your abilities is. So I invite you, work with that currently, find out what else is there for you to dive into for opportunities, for success, for maybe being of service to others. Can I give to a food bank? Can I go and give blood? Using that skill set, because now is a great time to start, going to the intuition gym. It doesn't require you to be around anybody, is what I'm telling everybody. The intuition gym is always open and you're the only person there if you want to be there. It's also a great time too, working with your intuition. So if you work with any type of divination tools, whether that's oracle cards, whether that's tarot, ruins, pendulum, whatever that is that you really dig, I say dig deeper into it, lean more into it. And if you don't have a favorite tool, well, start experimenting and see what you're really connecting with now, and see how that can absolutely work for you guys. So I'm going to take just a couple of seconds. Like I said, guys, I'm on my phone because of technical difficulties with Facebook on my laptop, but I have my laptop up. So does anybody have any questions about strengthening their intuition? Type it in the comment section and I'm going to try to keep up with it on my laptop here. And we'll give people just a couple of minutes because I know some people might be on their phone watching this. Let's see. All right, come on, pop on up. All right, nobody has any questions? I don't see any new on my laptop, but then again, I'm not exactly at a trusting point with it right now. Okay, so we'll just move along because I don't see anything about intuitive development. Okay, there we go. Okay, how do you know? So Constance asks, how do you know it is intuition versus your own thoughts? You know, that is a really great question to have. So I talk about that in my book, about knowing the difference between like our ego and knowing the difference between our intuition. So our ego will give us ideas, sometimes very impulsively. Yeah, that sounds great. Let's do that. And then it kind of fades away, like you're like, almost like the air came out of the balloon and you're just like, it'll fizzle out. But if it's an intuitive hit, whether it's about a project or a person or a situation, it will come back around and keep coming back around and keep coming back around to you. So for example, whenever I have a business idea or, ooh, I could partner with that person or do this or do that, I just kind of let it develop. And then all of a sudden it just starts coming back to me at very random points when I'm not even thinking about it. I could be doing dishes, I could be doing laundry, and it's just like, when are you going to get started on that project, Tracy? And that's how I kind of know the difference between it for me. I hope that answers your question onto that. I also say too, another way to know, and I was going to talk about this, Constance, so thanks for bringing it up, is ask for signs. So that is a part of your intuition as well. Even though we typically get signs that are in our external world, right? Some of us see a lot of numbers, some of us might hear phrases. Sometimes we see animals, or, whatever it might be. Now is a great time to get in touch with that and ask Spirit to give you confirming information that is true. Say like, hey, if that's true, can you give me a sign? And if you're like me, sometimes I'm like, oh, that must be a coincidence. I ask for them, show me it again, just so that my little ego brain can go to rest and go, okay, girl, like, look, they've been getting your attention all day, every day with this. What else do you need? Literally, I remember driving down the road one time asking for a sign, and literally I saw a big fat yes on a billboard, and I was like, okay, I will not be asking again. I guess they really wanted to get my attention with that, what I was questioning. Yeah, it can be very, persistent, because if your intuition is connected with Spirit, to me, and if that, doing something is a part of kind of your soul's journey, to me, it's like a nagging. Like, until I start to take action steps and put like a project or tie up a loose end with something, my intuition will just keep coming back around in a loving way. You know, like, you gonna do that? You got 20 minutes, take care of that. Make that call. You know, take that drive. Go on, you can do it. So that's how I know. Okay, and Sherry has a really great question. How long will you need to work on it before you can see it strengthen? Okay, that is an excellent question, Miss Knight. You know, that is going to depend on you. I can't really say that, you know, 2 weeks and done. It's really just everybody is different. So I would say this, Sherry, start with getting a copy of my book, 7 Tips and Tricks on How to Enhance Your Intuition. And what it details in there is it talks about the different strengths, and we go through on how to find what your dominant strength is currently and ideas and ways to strengthen that. I can't, you know, I'd love to say 2 weeks and you're going to be fabulous at it, but I can't. Everybody's different. Sometimes I pick up on different skills very, very quickly, intuitive, and other times I have to work at it and keep working at it. So that is a really, really good question to ask. Let me see, is there any other questions that people would love to answer, especially about going into the unknown? Because I know a lot of us business owners, not only in this industry, but in business. I mean, you guys know I'm around in the speaker world. I mean, think about it. Everybody who used to travel and do speaking events for a living has not been able to do that for 6 weeks. All of their shows done, canceled, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars gone. So what they had to do was they had to get innovative and bring everything online. And I really feel like this is what we're being asked to kind of do in our industry, or no matter what industry you're in. Like, how can you get that, you know, more of a presence online to, you know, the people and the clients that you serve, to be able to still get them what they need, and they really do need it from you at this point. So let's see, I have my little list here so I remember what I'm going to be talking about, because if you're anything like me, I get like the shiny object syndrome squirrel. I got to go chase after it. Yes. Also, I wanted to talk about feelings for intuitive strength right now. A lot of us are empathic, and you know, a lot of us are trying to feel our way through this situation, and some of us might be getting caught up in a lot of the grief, is what I've been feeling, just kind of energetically. Grief. I mean, whether it's loss of loved ones, loss of jobs, loss of security, loss of, you know, feeling that sense of structure in your life. And what I've had to, this is the first time in my life where I've really had to focus in on kind of how to compartmentalize that big time and be able to more feel into my intuition and my emotions versus kind of what's going on in the collective, to be able to get that guidance. So, you know, trust your gut. Trust your feelings. Try to set everything else that's going on aside. I always say give it a pretty little box and put it in it. You can always go back to that at any point in time that you want and be able to pick it up and check it out. Now, another wonderful thing that I keep hearing from a ton of clients about is all of the signs that Spirit has been giving them. And what I was curious to know about with y'all is, what signs have you been receiving from Spirit, from angels, from loved ones that have given you maybe encouragement or inspiration? Type in the chat box and let's share with everybody, because your experience helps everybody else here. On to that. And then I want to share somebody's experience, because if I'm sure we'll have time, I want to share what mine was. Let's see. Sorry, I got to update this as I'm looking on the Facebook page as well to do that. Let's see. Let me expand this on here. All right. I don't understand what living in the past means, Richard. Can you be a little bit more specific as far as an example, the past? And anybody else have any signs or any intuitive guidance lately from loved ones, from your intuition, from spirit? Type it in there, because I'd really like to hear about it, because spirit just communicates with everybody in so many different ways. And it's just absolutely stunning. All right. I know somebody does. On to that. So I will share with you one thing that did happen to me. I'm sure one of you guys is going to type in an experience in there. So something that happened to me for being able to get a sign. Oh, okay. Miss Jerry says something. Okay. You keep seeing frogs and cardinals. Okay. And my yellow rose bloomed yesterday when I needed to hear from my dad. That's interesting. Are yellow roses like connected? I wonder, are they connected with your dad? I see a lot of, okay. I wonder if those yellow roses are connected with your dad, Jerry, if that's something significant for you. Frogs to me are about that emotional cleanup, emotional healing, and then being able to jump forward. And cardinals to me are always about like standing in your power, standing strong, turning up, and your voice being heard. And that's beautiful. I love yellow roses. Let's see. And then I know Janie made a comment here. I see a lot of 34s and dream of my grandfather, but he doesn't speak. Okay, honestly, that's a really good sign. 34s, you're going to have to kind of investigate and see what the significance is to you. 3 plus 4 is 7, so that might be a significant number to you. I'm not sure, but the dreams, when we have dreams about our loved ones in spirit, even if they're not talking to us, what they're really just doing is just giving us that comfort, like, hey, I'm here. Like giving you kind of that spiritual hug from a distance. And I would investigate to see, like, in life, was he a huggy, touchy, feely guy? Or was he the type of guy that would just kind of, he was the strong, steady type and he just kind of stood in the back. So that might be how he's comfortable communicating. I would, kind of dig down deep into that for yourself. But that was a fantastic question. And you guys are so talkative right now. I love it. Okay. Let's see. Miss Constance, spirit has guided me to a person who needed strength that I necessarily didn't have. They told me how to comfort my friend. Exactly. Spirit and your intuition are always going to guide you to the perfect people at the perfect place with perfect information at the perfect time. And that's exactly what happened. That's a beautiful experience that you were able to be able to get that energy and that knowledge to be able to comfort your friends. And let's see, Elsa, Miss Elsa, I see red birds or cardinals. Yay! We're rocking the red birds here today, guys. I would, for you, Elsa, I would look into, is like red one of your favorite colors, or do you find like power in it? Do you find security in wearing red? Maybe that's one of the points that red birds are coming around you. Just kind of, I always like to say, just think about that and see what it is. Okay, let's see on to that. Oh, Jerry Hicks. Okay, all correct. Well, thank you so very much. So my brain doesn't get all distracted by shiny objects going back here onto that. Those are great ways. And I do have, I lost my train of thought for just a second because that's how I am. I did want to tell you about something that Spirit has been pushing me to create. And even though I didn't want to, I was like, I don't want to do that. That's too much. It kept coming back around and coming back around and coming back around. So finally, I put some action steps and I created an event called Ignite Your Magic 2020. What that is next Saturday, I have gathered about 12 plus of some of the world's best practitioners. So there are people in there that are going to be talking about everything from twin flames, astrology, tarot, psychic and intuitive development, mediumship development. You're going to get a whole gamut, and you're going to get it from a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different people. I know Miss Lynn Garza is going to be appearing into into Ignite Your Magic, which I'm so excited about because I can't wait to see what she and her special gifts are bringing to the show. I know that we're also going to be giving away gifts to everybody because I like it when people show up at a party, they get a gift to go. So when you register for this event, you're going to get a free gift from every single practitioner that is there. I can't tell you what those gifts are going to be, so you'll just have to register for the event. And the event is in my event page right there on my Facebook fan page, which all y'all might be on to there. And I'm just super excited. It's all going to be virtual. It's all Zoom orientated. And we're just going to get together and we're going to have a virtually good time. And Spirit kept bugging me to do it and giving me signs and giving me signs and giving me signs. And you know what? As soon as I put my action steps into order, everything fell right into place. Everything that I needed, every resource, every person, every answer I needed, came flowing right to me. And that's what happens when we listen to our intuitive guidance, is that, boom, all of our resources appear to get that done just kind of magically, because I really didn't know how to throw it together. I can tell you I could not do that out of my own will and my own power. It is free to register, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but this is free for you guys to be able to attend and enjoy with that. But I have thoroughly enjoyed spending some time with you. But before we go, I do want to pull a couple of cards for you onto that. Let's see what Jerry is saying. If you see colors before you see someone in a dream, does it mean something? Like I saw white in an older unknown gentleman. Then next was light lavender and Tabitha. Green and my own mom was span of seconds. Then I popped awake. It seems like they are. It seems like they're surrounding you and kind of color coding themselves, which is really super cool. To be able to give you colors before they appear so you know exactly who they are. I think that's pretty freaking awesome. Onto that. But I am going to pull a couple of oracle cards. And as most of you know, I love Colette Baron Reed and I love her decks. And I highly recommend, if you're going to start, using oracle cards as divination, I highly recommend Colette Baron Reed's deck. They're very easy to work with. They're just beautifully made. So let's ask the question for everybody here in the group. And we'll just ask for the next week moving forward. We'll preface it at that. And we'll just preface it that what do we all need to be aware of with listening to our intuition and trusting it as we move forward in this next week. I can't make this stuff up, guys. I really can't. Onto that. I pulled the Imagine card. I think that is reversed, isn't it? It might be. Imagine, which talks about allowing yourself to use your imagination and not getting bogged down by the, well, that can't happen. How's that going to happen? That's not going to work out. This is, kind of sinking the ship before it even sails. This card is telling you, use your imagination, and that helps you to connect with that divine source, that higher power, God, whatever that you might connect to be able to help you. So using your imagination, that is exactly where we're going to. All right, and let's pull another card forward to seeing if we need to take any more action steps with this. And yeah, I love her. I have most of her decks, Megan. I really do. I dig them. Ha! Can't make this up. We were also talking about how sometimes your intuition will kind of push you to kind of tie up loose ends so that you can start something new. So it's saying use your imagination. That will help you tap into that intuitive divine flow with yourself. And another action step, it says unfinished symphony. So it's time this week, guys, to finish up maybe projects that you kind of left half finished. Maybe you got to make that phone call you've been procrastinating on. Maybe you just simply got to clean up your spare bedroom. Whatever it is, kind of get it done and imagine yourself getting it done easily, just like that. And we'll pull one more card for how do we have fun doing this? How can we have fun and joy using our intuition and finishing up our tasks this week? I love it. Loyal Hearts, which talks about if you can do it with love in your heart. We can't all spend our time with our loved ones because obviously we are, a lot of us are in quarantine. But if you can do these with loved ones, maybe it can be via Zoom. Maybe it can be, a FaceTime Live. But to give you that encouragement, that loyalty, that kind of attaboy, attagirl, keep going, pull in somebody that you love to be able to do that. And even if you can't, I usually turn on some music that you love while you work. Have a dance party. It's saying however you do these tasks, do it with love, whether it's with somebody or something playing in the background, however you want to imagine that. Now, I've had an absolutely great time of that. And Megan, I don't know if you have Wisdom of the Oracle, but that's the deck that I just used in case you are curious and wanted to kind of peek into that one as well. But I am so excited, guys, and I am thrilled to bring you Ignite Your Magic next week. Be sure, register, save your spot, and get ready to just kind of ignite that new flame for 2020 and meet some really cool people. Because I've got a very nice eclectic bunch that I can't wait for everybody to be able to meet up with. Well, thank you guys so much. Have a blessed week. And if you need to get in contact with me, you can, my contact information is all over the internet, really. But it is on the Facebook, on my Facebook page. It pretty much is everywhere. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. You guys have a blessed weekend, and I hope to speak to you all soon. Love and light.
Thank you for tuning into the Haunted Road Trips show, where we share powerful conversations, insights, insights and exciting site investigations that reveal the paranormal world in a way you've never seen before, up until now. Remember to visit our website at www.hauntedroadtripsshow.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Haunted Road Trips Show. And remember, paranormal history is dying to be heard.